An Oxford man accused of killing his mother has been returned to Calhoun County to face those charges.
Cooler and drier air on the way to East Alabama. We'll have the complete weekend forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, we'll talk with a former local athlete who's making a big debut tonight. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wedowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Friday, July 21st, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
Police say 29-year-old Kyle Thomas Krieger was placed in the Calhoun County Jail this week, where he faces a preliminary hearing on August 21st. He is charged with the death of his mother, 67-year-old Pamela Gray Williams, who was found dead at her home on Williams Street in Oxford on May 18th. Krieger was arrested the next day in Panhandle, Texas, where he fought extradition back to Alabama for several weeks. A governor's warrant was issued for his return, and he was transferred back to Calhoun County by local authorities. He's being held without bail while waiting for his hearing.
When we come back, we'll tell you about some new rules that are facing Anniston students when they go back to school in a couple of weeks.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
When Anniston students go back to school next month, they will face stronger punishment for vaping and stricter rules for attendance. The Anniston Star reports that the city school board voted this week to give students caught with vaping supplies a 3-day out-of-school suspension and a 2-day in-school suspension. The move is part of an effort to reduce the number of students who are vaping at local schools. The board also voted to count 5 tardiness infractions as a full day's absence, and parents will be contacted about the missed time at school. 10 infractions will lead to the students being referred to a district attendance employee, and the student will be marked with 2 days worth of absences.
Have you got your back-to-school shopping list ready yet? When we come back, we'll tell you how to save some money when you go to the stores.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waltrip Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Alabama's 2023 sales tax holiday has begun. Back-to-school shoppers who go to local stores today through Sunday will be able to buy certain school supplies, computers, and clothing free of city and state sales tax, which in most cases will be a 10% discount. The tax-free deals include computers or computer supplies costing less than $750 each, clothing or shoes costing less than $100 per item, school supplies and textbooks costing less than $50 a piece, and books costing less than $30. The state will not be collecting its share of the sales tax revenue on those purchases, and municipalities in Calhoun and Cleburne counties will also forego their portion of the tax through the weekend.
You know what people might need a tax break on?
What's that?
Umbrellas.
Yes.
So why don't we ask John Holder if maybe while they're doing their back to school shopping, they might want to buy a couple of umbrellas for the weekend.
How about it, John?
It is indeed tax-free weekend. I don't think we're going to need very much as far as umbrellas go, but we are going to have some fine weather coming up for the back half of July here in East Alabama. We'll talk about a pretty good weekend forecast coming up next.
Well, my name is Mike Craven, and we recently purchased an open carport, metal carport from a Waldrop manufacturer. I have an extra car. We have a very small home, very small driveway. And I needed somewhere just to park another vehicle, just out of the weather. And I had been told by 2 or 3 friends that knew we had recently remodeled a home that Waldrops were the people that you need to go talk to. I was in that area one day and I thought, hey, I'll just stop in, and I did without calling, and greeted warmly, well taken care of. It was just, really the whole process was just good from day one.
Another hot day across East Alabama, but there is relief on the way both tonight and over the weekend. We reached up to 93 for the high today. Another very warm morning, 73. That's as low as we were able to get overnight last night. 101 your record high temperature, 57 the record low. And right now we're taking about 2 minutes off the sunrise and sunset times each day, losing a couple of hours of sunlight every day. Your sun rising tomorrow now at 5:49, setting tonight at 7:51. Weather on your street for your Friday night. We've got some storms on the way to East Alabama, so we'll have scattered storms all across the region tonight, dropping down to 69. Church Avenue in Jacksonville, just be aware. Keep an eye to the sky. We've got more storms kind of floating in from the northwest to the southeast, so keep that eye on the northern sky on Church Avenue in Jacksonville for some storms later on tonight. That's going to lead to much better weather coming up on your Saturday. Kingsway Drive, Choccolocca, that's out Pine Hill Estates Way, close to the golf course there. Pretty good day, to be honest with you, for golfing. If you want to go out to Pine Hill Golf Course and maybe get some strokes in, we've got 84 for the high tomorrow. That, folks, is 6 degrees below the average for this time of year. That's going to be 10 to 11 to 12 degrees cooler than it has been over the last 2 or 3 days. We do have a 40% chance of a pop-up shower tomorrow afternoon with the heating of the day, but overall, the humidity and dew point values are going to be lower as well. It is going to be a mighty fine Saturday overall to play golf out in Choccolocca or to go and do some back-to-school shopping on tax-free weekend. As we look ahead to next week, we're going to be looking at a mostly dry forecast. Temperatures are going to rebound from the 80s over the weekend back into the 90s beginning on Monday, and we'll be back into the upper 90s by the end of the week. Coldwater Pump Road and Coldwater, that's out by Coldwater Creek. You're going to be wanting to go out there and maybe wade in the creek next week because it's going to be dry, it is going to be hot, it is going to be summertime in Alabama with temperatures rebounding, as we said, back into the 90s all next week across Calhoun and Cleburne counties. The 7-day forecast is going to show you exactly where those numbers are going, and the numbers will be up after the weekend. Tomorrow, very nice weather, some afternoon storms possible. I don't think they'll be as strong as what we're going to see out there this afternoon and this evening, but still a 60% chance of showers. The big story, I think, for the weekend is going to be the overnight low temperatures going down into the 60s, 65 with low humidity and dew point values. Just a tiny, tiny hint of fall in the air on Saturday and Sunday mornings. We're going to be dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday of next week, a stretch of dry weather. But those numbers coming up, 88 on Sunday, 90 on Monday, 91 Tuesday. Then we're 93 degrees by Wednesday. And then by the end of the week, in about a week or so, we're going to be back into the mid to upper 90s. Not very good chances for rain. Once we get past tomorrow afternoon, the chances for rain are going to be slim to none, actually, for the next 5 to 6 days all across Calhoun and Cleburne counties. And as we take a look at the tropics, yes, we need to take a look at what's happening out there. We haven't checked in. We're right in the middle of hurricane season. Not a whole lot. Couple of things to point out to you. We've got a disturbance way out here in the Atlantic. That has about a 60% chance of developing into something. But even if it does, you can see the trajectory here. That would take it basically into South America, would not be a threat to the mainland here in the United States. And then we've got Tropical Storm Don out there in the central Atlantic. think Don's just kind of meandering, will become extratropical and will fade away. No threat, as you can see here, to any kind of landmass whatsoever. So no threats from Don. And that's kind of our check-in on this Friday evening of what's happening in the tropics. Well, coming up, something that you may not be familiar with. It's called Slamball, and we've got a local connection to that coming up that Chase Robinson's going to tell us all about. Chase?
Thanks, John. Here at EAN, we like to spotlight athletes from the East Alabama area who are doing big things. And tonight, a former local star has a chance to make history. Former Jacksonville Golden Eagle Cam Horton will make his debut in Slamball as the sport returns to ESPN. Horton played his high school ball at Jacksonville, went on to play in college, finishing up his career at Life University, and was looking to continue his playing career when he was given an opportunity to take part in Slamball. We caught up with Cam Horton about how he got this opportunity.
Around the game, still playing, still coaching, getting a better understanding of basketball. At the time, I still wanted to go play. My overseas journey didn't really take off like I wanted it to, so I ended up getting this opportunity from a guy named Rob. He called my coach. I sent him my film. I was at work one day. He was like, hey, we want you to be down here with the top 24 athletes that we selected out of thousands of people for their film. So I was like, wait, you want me to come to Las Vegas and quit my job and come all the way to Las Vegas to try to play a game on trampolines? It almost sounded like crazy.
All of the Slamball season will be played in Las Vegas, with the season going from now through late August. It's been since 2008 since Slamball has been on national TV until tonight. Cam Horton tells us a little bit about the sport and what he likes about it.
Slamball is, honestly, and now I'm being truthful when I say this, it's probably the best sport I ever played. Slamball is a game constructed of 4 trampolines with about, I'd say, 15 feet of court. It's a hybrid game of football, basketball, and hockey style substitutions. Of course, people think you're just going out there and just dunking on trampolines, but it's so much more than just going to dunk, because there's ways you have to move through the tramps. There are rules to when you can lay those big time hits that people probably seen on YouTube. There's times where you might have to go 1 tramp instead of 2. Mostly with this game, it's all about time.
The Model City Ball Club will take the court tomorrow in Anniston for Game 3 of the season. The game with the Model City and the Albany Good Life will tip off at 1 o'clock at the Anniston Aquatic Center. Going into the game for Model City, Coriel Beavers leads the team in averaging 22 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, and an efficiency of 71. That's it for sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
We're here every weekday evening, starting around 6:30 or so on either Facebook or YouTube. Just log in to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and then feel free to leave us a comment while you're there.
We hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday for your news on your schedule.